folks. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, oh, wow. Are you guys in for an amazing day today? Just jam-packed training. Today, you're going to learn from the man himself, the person who taught me how to reach 5 figures a month in 10 months. Does that sound good to you guys? Yeah. Who wants to make 5 figures a month in 10 months? Yeah. Does 10 grand sound good? 10K sound good? Yes? How about 20K? 30K? We have people doing that already, so why not you? Well, folks, I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you a gentleman that has literally changed my life in the last 6 years. Of course, I was a programmer before, and this gentleman literally changed my life like no other. And I owe this gentleman my life, literally, because if not for him, I'd be busting my back at my old job. And this gentleman here is such a visionary, such an amazing gentleman. Of course, you all know who he is, a gentleman who was not only featured on the Canadian Business Journal, but also the front cover, the first time a Canadian CEO on the front cover of the American Business Journal. Give a hand up for that, folks. Round of applause, absolutely. Of course, him and his amazing team were responsible for creating products that have never been seen before in the last 5,000 years of jewelry on mankind. Folks, can you imagine we're in a company where we have products that no one else in the world has? Can you imagine that, folks? This is your business, a Canadian company here, folks. The gentleman who started this from the basement of his home, working day and night. This gentleman works very hard. It's amazing because, I have such a great lifestyle. And in the head office, I see this gentleman, from morning until night, to the very early morning, working away to build this company, to take care of all of us. And, an amazing gentleman here. Again, started at the age of 18 in direct sales, a self-made millionaire at the age of 25, responsible for creating 13 other millionaires, and I know how that feels like because I'm one of them. Woo! Again, this gentleman really needs no introduction. He's our CEO, our founder, the man on a mission, the man towards $1 billion company. Give me a global wealth trade standing ovation for our one, the only, our CEO, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou! Woo! The man who changed my life. He'll change your life too. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Show us your moves. Watch this. Who can beat that? Who can beat that? All right. Thank you. Please sit down. I don't think Livestream ever expected this. We crashed it yesterday. 500 people at a time tried to log in at the same time. Didn't expect that. We should have got pay-per-view maybe, They'd be more prepared for this. Well, good morning, Global Wealth Trade. I haven't called you forensic networkers yet because we don't know if you are one. Are you a forensic networker or an MLM sometimer? I guess you're all MLM sometimer. Nobody responded. Are you a forensic networker or an MLM sometimer? We'll see. We'll see. All right. 1990, actually it was 1989, when I got fed up with the status quo teachings of the industry. And believe it or not, it was better back then than it is right now. Right now it's a real mess. But back then, the people who actually wrote books and stuff, they were actually had done something in the industry. They made some money, and They were, as close to a coach as it could be today. If you've been to forensicnetworker.com website, people say, Ramin, you're really harsh on the workforce. Yes, I am. Because I categorize 99.6% of our workforce as uneducated, unskilled in this field, including the top 1% who make millions. So I categorize the top 1% who've made millions in the industry, 2/3 of them uneducated and unskilled in this industry, yet they're on the stage flashing a check and to try to teach others how to do this. So here's the top 1%. So forget about the 99% that don't do a lot, don't make a lot. Let's talk about the guys and girls who make a lot. 1/3, they got lucky. First of all, how's my sound? Because I get an echo. You okay? Sounds okay? All right. Before I start, let's give our Global Wealth Trade global family, some of them are up at 4 in the morning to watch this. Let's stand up, look at the camera, and say, welcome to Forensic Networker. So can we do that? That's the one in the center there. 1, 2, 3, welcome to Forensic Networker. Yes. All right. So 1/3, they got lucky, especially since the binary system came about 25 years ago. Why? Well, it's 2 legs, right? The upline builds one for you anyways in most cases. And the other leg, you bring somebody who brings somebody who brings somebody, and you get some traction down there. Next thing you know, you're making a big check, and you perceive to be an expert. And you don't even know how it happened. They put you on the stage, they give you a pin, and they're trying to tell you how to build this, and they have no clue how it happened, right? So that's 1/3 of your millionaires, of the top 1%. The second third is people who still don't get it, but they're hard workers. And I've had some students who've made over $10 million. I've brought into this industry, and they got a big name now in the industry, but I've said always that I brought them in, they're with me for 7 years, they made money, but they don't get it still. And let me tell you how this particular student of mine made it. When I made my money and I was 25 years old, living in a state home and living a life, he would show up with his girlfriend. I'll be with my girlfriend in my home, and me, his girlfriend, and my girlfriend by the pool, kind of hanging out, and he would be in my home office, hitting the phone for 12 hours in a row. 12 hours in a row, staying forensic. He worked so hard for so long, kudos to him for that, and finally got some traction, stopped making some money. And he's made a lot of money, but is that duplicatable? He still doesn't really get it, because the effort that he put in, the average person can't put in. So again, second, third, they worked really, really hard till they finally got some traction, but they really can't redo it again. They did it once. They can't do it again. They can't teach others to do it. So it's 2/3 of the top 1%. Then you got the 1/3 of the top 1% that they get it. They get the industry. And providing, you put them in any company, providing it's the right timing, so it's not the product and the comp plan. These folks already know how to choose that, but providing it's the right timing, they're going to hit it out of the park. And so that's because I'm a numbers person, so I put it that way. My friend Mark, he says it's funny. Mark here now. He says, I got to give it to like his accent, and he's probably going to watch this. He's going to laugh. Ramin, he's from Idaho. Ramin, it's a funny industry now. A guy can go fail in 10 deals and write a book, and he's an expert. And so when you go on the internet, don't be seeking information on MLM courses, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of crap out there. And so for me, in 1989, because I didn't come from a corporate background, I didn't come from, I was not polished to know anything about this. I was this young man. When I got involved in 1990, I was this young man, young athlete with a white shirt and red stains all over it. Pizza sauce. So because I had to go through a lot to make it, and the stuff that you go through that really is what 90% of the success is not covered in any books. And that's the psychology, the emotional roller coaster, What drives you inside? Nobody talks about those things. They always tell you what to do. Here's another thing. Why the Forensic Network is the #1 course in the world, the most advanced, is here's how it's described. An average course, it tells you what to do. They'll tell you what to do. Good courses, they'll tell you what to do and how to do it. Forensic Networker is the only course in the world that'll tell you what to do, how to do it, but most importantly, why you should do it. It's the why that puts it all together. 90% of success is why. It's not how. Every library in the world has all the information that you want. You want to build a space shuttle, go to the moon? The information is in the library. So you can get the information, but why you should do it, it's whether you're going to make it or not, whether you're going to do it or not. So in 1990, I was kind of fed up. I said, look, no one's talking about what I went through, getting bloodied and muddied along the way. So I think I'm just going to start talking about behind-the-scenes stuff, what drives you, the why factor. So everything that the whole forensic, it's why-driven. Later on today, I'm going to bring some of our regional ambassadors who are going on that luxury trip in Mexico. And how cool is that? It's a very private resort. It's one of those exclusive resorts. And it's not one of those things you'll find on TripAdvisor or on some of these websites. It's really one of those exclusive resorts that you have to go through special agents to get to. And I want to make sure it was something really, really special. So they all got this beautiful, it's on the ocean, of course, and it's kind of by itself. And you can swim up to your room. How cool is that? You know? Yeah, you kind of swim and then come up. So in the morning you wake up, you open the door. Shh. Who needs a shower, right? And it gets cooler than that, actually, because our section, our guys, our regional ambassadors, they'll have their own butler. How cool is that? So they deserve it, and I look forward to spending some time with them. It's in 2 weeks, and I wish that all of you. Let me tell you, you want to hear my dream before I start the seminar today? You want to hear that? Here's my ultimate dream. And I've been envisioning this for about, 15 years. But I couldn't do it before because I never owned a company. And in this one, we can make it come reality. I could see us do this. I could see us charter, go to Air Canada, go to Southwest, go to one airline. I could see us charter about 25 planes, right? And I'm talking about a company trip, not an incentive trip, a company trip, right? And of course, by then we have our own corporate jets and everything else. And I could see everybody meets in one location, and you got this 25 jets and 747s behind each other with a Global Wall Street logo stuck right on them, because I'll make sure that's there. Because that's important, and everyone's coming in, and as they're coming in, and we got this, but we get every limousine in the city to be there to pick them up in a special location and bring them right to the tarmac and bring them right to the planes, and everyone's going up there, and they all take off at the same time, and we're going towards the destination, and we have, of course, GWT, GWT corporate jets, about 5,000 feet above the rest of them, 10,000 feet. Do you know how cool that is? Because what happens, to be on that one, you're going to have to probably qualify for it. It couldn't fit 5,000, a lot of people. But imagine being there, and you'll be looking down, because I've taken flying lessons. So when you look down, you'll actually see the planes. And you'll be like, those are our people. How cool is that? Right? All right. So I started writing 2 different manuals. One of them was called The Psychology of Sales. So that's how the Forensic Networker started. It's called Psychology of Sales, because I talk a lot about, because when you're in the MLM business, when you're in the sales business, when you're in the marketing business, you're in the psychology business. So that's it. Sales is psychology, and whatever you're promoting, because human beings only react to certain things, and to know how to trigger those things, then you have to understand certain things about psychology. So I wrote a manual called The Psychology of Sales, and another manual called Independent Home Business Manual. So that's how the Forensic Networker started back in 1990. So about 15 years ago, I guess. No, right? I don't know, 25 years ago. No, 15 years ago. Sorry, 1999. 1999. That's what happens when you don't sleep for 2 weeks. So, all right, so 1999. So in year 2000, even in manual format, but 1999 is where I wrote this, right? Now, I was doing a seminar in Detroit. This is how the name Forensic came about. I was in Detroit doing a seminar, and there was those days I used to do 3-day seminars because Forensic is a very intensive course. There's so much information there. I'm doing some publishers right now, and one of them is the second largest publisher in the world. Keeps telling me, Ramin, you're making a mistake. Don't make this into a book. Make it into a series, like the Dummy series. Like, there's so much information there. We could sell a lot of books because they're in the book business. They want to make money. I'm not interested in that. I want to get the information out. Let people go change their lives. I just want to get it out one time, and I let people just go do what they have to do with it. So I started, was doing this seminar. It was like a 3-day seminar. There was a young lady that flown in from California to Detroit for this, and she was from a nutrition company who was not part of her business at all. And she went through this. After she came to me, she said, can I buy you coffee at some point at the end of the seminars? I said, sure. And we sat down. She says, I want to tell you something. I'm with a very large company, and we got great trainings there, but I've never seen anything like this. And I've been to other speakers and other seminars, and again, I've never seen anything like this. This is not MLM training. This is business training. And she said, it was so different than anything else I've ever done. I said, what do you do? She said, well, I'm what's called a forensic accountant. So, what does that mean? What do you do? He says, well, I am the nightmare for large corporations like Microsoft. I bring the truth into numbers. And she says, when I was going through your seminar, I was thinking, you're like the forensic trainer. What you are covering in detail. And I started to think about that. I said, Forensic Networker. That's how the name came about. So along the way it's evolved. What I've done is that I took, I believe 12 chapters of the 26 that I took out for today. And the reason why the handouts are just arrived is because we have the 60,000 square foot print shop. These guys got machines from here to there. These guys are massive. Yet they said, Ramin, there's no way we can get this prepared for you on. So they put extra shifts on last night. They work overnight because there's 31,000 pages that they had to print. And that's only 12 chapters of it. And then be able to staple. So everything came here. What we're going to do, I'm going to take it to the first chapter myself. Then we're going to take a break. Then what you're going to do is just go over there. They're all side by side. Just take one of each and then sit down. So you're going to have these handouts to bring home with you. Previously, we used to actually have manuals for people to bring. Some of you have those manuals, right? Okay. Well, this version is updated from what you have. But we wanted to keep the cost down. No member left behind. I mean, we'd like to throw a lot of elaborate events. Lots of food and drinks and a lot of, gourmet, break themes and those stuff, but we took that out this year because we want to keep the price down so as many people can attend as possible, and I think that's a better way to go. So that's how the Forensic Networker started. Now, are you qualified to be a Forensic Networker? Because right in the beginning of the Forensic book, I have a chapter. Are you qualified? Because the reason why I did my very first public seminar in 2008, and I didn't actually do it for the first 8 years or 9 years, I was convinced that this was too advanced for the average person. I was convinced. So in order for you to get it, you had to be at a certain level, and they came to a retreat. You had to qualify. My teams, I got large teams, and I took them through that, and all of that, we've created about 14 millionaires. So I put a chapter in there. I said, look, If you want to make an extra couple of thousand a month, you don't need this. You don't need this. Your basic company trainings can get you there. But if you are serious about making this your full-time career, in other words, firing your job, your boss, and make a 5-figure monthly income, then you need this. You need this. And I'll tell you, I've been saying this for a decade now. It's a guarantee that you're going to get there if you can stick to it. So it'll tell you what to do. It'll give you all the tracking sheets. It gives you everything you need to keep you self-functional. That's a good word. Self-functional. If you do it, you'll be there. In 2008, I came to a conclusion, though. I see the industry was going down. Life wasn't getting any better for our workforce. People are being hurt. Because we have people who are not qualified teaching people, other people, the new people, because the industry is evolving, growing so fast, what to do. Except it's the wrong manual. So I thought, you know what? This is too important that we need to let it out. It's not for me to judge if it's too advanced or not. Some people will come in and adopt all of it and try to do it. Some will come and adopt some of it. Some will come and adopt a little of it. And some people won't. But another reason why I wanted to release it was this. The very first chapter we're going to talk about, the 8 categories of distributorship. I categorized our workforce, put 8 different categories, and I did that about 15 years ago because I have my grievances with corporations, and you know about them. I'm very vocal about those. Compensation plans are way too strict. It's designed not to pay. It's designed to be cluttered. The product line that's not profitable enough. A lot of people are they can't make any money with it. So I have my own grievances with corporations, especially with all the trick bonuses that really it's designed to look good on piece of paper, but it's not designed to pay. And it deceives people, and it's outright. I have done whole seminars on comp plan contradictions, is what I call them. And being voted the top 3 comp plan experts in the world, people don't want me to talk about these things publicly. I get top earners from other companies who know me for years. Ramin, why are you saying this? Why are you doing that? I said, because enough is enough. It's a slaughterhouse out there. It's the casualties that we're leaving behind of this industry. If we don't clean it up, we're going to get challenged by the regulators. And it's not because the regulators really care. It's not that. But these companies are popping up left and right. There's nothing fair about it. People are getting hurt. Then the regulators get forced to make changes to the greatest industry in the world. And that affects the good companies. So what we need to do, put the information out there, and this chapter I'm really proud of because every time I Google it, I see there's 2 more languages. The same chapter is now translated like 20 different languages from all different companies. I have no idea who they are, And I'm glad they're doing that. And, I have no issues with that. Nobody asked for permission for it, but they're taking it for their own companies and they're teaching it. But that's fine. That's my contribution to the industry. I want them to do that. Here's the reason why. I have my grievances with the corporations and how they do things because the industry was supposed to be simple. You go promote and create volume and get paid for doing it. We pay you the advertising money. That's simple. That was the whole idea of direct sales. When we started in 1990, we used to beat up on the retail establishment. We said, here's how the retail works. Manufacturer, series of middle people, consumer. What direct sales does is basically eliminates this, manufacturer to consumer. We take that money, we give it as commissions. So was the concept of direct sales originally. Along the way, a bunch of really smart MBA guys got up and said, hey, look, this is too good. We can really make money with this. And they putting all kinds of trick compensation plans together that only look good on paper, but it's not really conducive for long-term success. In fact, if you join a rank-filled program, and I'll tell you this right now, I remember I was in Vegas, very exclusive. It was a Randy Gage event, a very exclusive, was 30 of us there. And I had a very strong debate, with the people that why we're the world's first free-flowing compensation plan. Because if you join a rank-filled plan, those companies, especially the recent ones, last 10 years, are designed not to pay you long-term. See, when I first got started, my teachers taught me, work out for 5, take the next 50 off. So that's a good deal. That's a great deal. Work out for 5, take the next 50 off. Today, you're talking to the leaders, it's unbelievable what they tell you behind the scenes. I couldn't believe my ears. I hear this because they call me, they want to make deals with me. These are some of the big guys who've made millions in the industry. You know what is their philosophy these days? Oh, opportunities only go for 3 or 4 years. Juice it, go to the next one at best. Really? What happened giving off people what they want and then you get what you want? So juice it, go to the next one, and leave behind all these casualties. Do you see what the problem is? So the 8 categories of distributorship, now going back to that, although I have my grievances with corporations, you take part of the cake too. Because we have people that come into this industry. You can blame some of it into bad training and bad uplines, but they come, they don't commit themselves, and then they say, well, it didn't work. Then they go out there, they bash the industry, and they bash their company. So this is great, and this is going to be the greatest awakening for you, because I think every single one of you, other than the ones who've been here several times to the seminar, and forensic is like that, by the way. You come once, you never miss another one. So it's once a year, people just keep on. Some of you guys have been here, 7 times since I started? But yeah, there's a few of you there. So this is going to change. You're going to get the realization today that I thought I was a, but I am a. And it's important for you to know that. So if things don't work out for you because you get consumed by life and because your competing priorities just keeps taking you out of the game, at least you're not blaming the company or the industry. It's not like that didn't work. You had the opportunity. You got to take some accountability. That's why this is so good. Good or great? Great. Look the person next to you and say, it's great. Great. It's important that we do this because you don't know that you don't know. It's a terminology that I use. You think you know, but you don't know that you don't know. You think you're doing it. You're doing something. You're calling some people. You're trying to drag some people to the meeting. You think that's the way the business is done. That's not how the business is done. So why I do this is because I want you to know that if we don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not out there bashing the industry. You're not out there bashing the company. And if every company in the world, if DSA took this chapter and implemented it to 2,000 plus companies, the industry would have a much better name than they have today. I mean, I take a look at this. It doesn't make any sense at all how 40-year-old companies, and these are good companies, 40-year-old companies now are being questioned in some countries for being an illegal pyramid. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? These guys are part of the ESA, they're on everything else. You know why that's happening? It's not because it's because the regulators get pressure because of the complaints. And now they have to do something. So if we educate our workforce so they know that they didn't do what their part is, at least they'll be fair on their assessment. Yes? All right. Let's start with a joke. Want to see a joke? It's my forensic joke. But it's true. I was on the plane one time, and this guy was sitting next to me, and he's a network marketer, and I love those guys. So he says to me, we start talking, he realized I was in the industry, and he was in the industry, and he says, and he's from the States, from Texas. He said, tell me, our company's this, that, whatever. He's telling me how my company last year made $600 million in sales. And he's so excited about that. And I don't know why people get excited about that. I said, 600 million, eh? He said, yeah. How much of it did go in your pocket? And he's like, the conversation came about, he's so impressed with the company that he's missing that this is not about the stockholders' profits. It's about how you doing after 6 years in it. He's been in it for 6 years. He had no testimonials about that. Somehow the conversation went to, he was telling me about tell me about I said, we've got 5 office expansions. We've got a beautiful gallery now. And yeah, tell me about it. So I told him about our world headquarters. And they have an office at St. Martin and all of this. And look at his response. Psh, that's no size head office. Our head office, Texas, it's so big. Real network marketer. It is so big that when I get out the door and get in my truck, I drive, and drive. By noon, I'm still not at the parking lot yet. What do you think about that? So I said, I had a truck like that once. Well, I embellished the story a little bit, but you get the gist of it. All right.